Hi and welcome to the Pi Dashboard January 2021 update video. In this video we'll be looking at new features and explaining what's changed in the latest version of the dashboard. We'll cover some of these features with a short demonstration. An additional option has been added to the Chart Tools menu and also the Pi Reports menu that will enable users to download a copy of the chart or report as a Word document. This is in addition to the currently available PDF download option. Here's Adil with a quick demonstration.
So one of the biggest changes to come to the January release is the ability to download and schedule a Word document. So we've had the ability to download a chart as a CSV, PDF and Excel, and now you also have the option to download as a Word document. So the permission to do this will live with the rest, which is under the user permissions. So when you create a user, you'll see under Chart Viewer you have the can download as PDF, export to Excel, export to CSV, and also now export to Word option. If this option is ticked, then you will be able to download a chart type as a Word document. So to download a chart as a Word document, you will have a download button in the Chart Tools, which is located here. And as you can see, if I click this export to Word button for this chart type here, it will take a few seconds and then it will download as a Word document. And once that's done, you can then open it in Word on your machine and then edit the document further if need be. So if I just open this document now, you'll see that it's opening up in Microsoft Word, and what you will see inside this document is that you have the chart title here, which was waterfall, the logo if you decide to use a logo, and the chart type itself and the elements of the chart in here. So if you have data labels turned on, they will also display here, and if you have any coloring, they will also display here. Now you can also schedule a chart directly as a Word document and also design the reports for Word docs. So if you head over into the scheduling screen, you can see that I have a report here that I've set up, and you can see that we have a preview option now to generate a Word document alongside the general HTML preview, the PDF preview, and now a Word preview. Now there are a few limitations to this, so you need to ensure that no elements in the report have a scroll bar on the design screen, as this may result in the layout of the report being incorrect, as there will be no space in the Word document for that element. You also need to ensure that be aware that the absolute positioning of the head and footer elements within the report layout is not possible for the Word documents. Hiding elements over one another and setting width and height of the elements within the header and footer will not be reflected in the Word document. And if you wish to use images, ensure that enough space is given, as the Word document will be affected by this as well. As also mentioned, you can then schedule as a Word document. So I've got this attachment here, and you'll now see this option here, which is called doc. So we've had PDF, CSV, Excel, and now we also have doc, which you can check and uncheck at any time.
Thanks Adil for running us through that demonstration. A new chart type, waterfall chart, has been added to the list of available chart types. This type of chart is very similar to bar charts but can support multiple measures. They are available in horizontal and vertical layouts and support many of the same features as the other chart types, such as drill down levels, filtering and targets. I'll now pass over to Adil for a quick demonstration.
So one of the biggest changes to the January release is the addition of two new chart types, and they are the waterfall chart type and the horizontal waterfall chart type. So as you can see on the screen, this is what the waterfall chart type will look like. And if I edit the waterfall chart type, and if I head into the charts, you can see that the options for both the chart types are under the scatter and bubble. So the waterfall chart type allows you to filter, sort, add attributes, targets, colors, and accessibility. So you have the ability to add all of these features to the waterfall chart type. Now the horizontal waterfall chart type is pretty much exactly the same as the waterfall chart type, just in a horizontal manner. So think of it as a bar chart and a column chart, for example. So you can do all sorts with them, such as turn on data values, trend lines, and show vertical lines, and you can also add targets and colors to these chart types as well.
Thanks, Adil, for running us through that demonstration. When help text is added to an object on the Data Connection tab in Dashboard Configuration, the help text will be displayed when a user hovers over the related object on the dashboard. Here's Adil with a quick demonstration.
So one of the new features included in the January release is the ability to add help text to a data connection object. So by default, no object will have a help text, as this is an optional feature. Now to set one, you need to head into the dashboard configuration screen, and then you need to head into data connections, and then choose a data connection of your choice. And if you expand one of the objects, so I'm going to expand department here, you will see a field called help text where you can enter the help text. So I'm going to enter a help text here called test, and now what I'm going to do is save this data connection. And now when you head back out into the chart, and if I edit this chart, and if I hover over the object, what you shall see is that the object will have the help text there.
In Data Connections, a new option, Can Use in List of Values, has been added to the Objects screen. This will enable users to specify whether the list of values is displayed as a drop-down list in the Filters area of the dashboard. If this option is unticked, the list of values for the selected object will not be available as a drop-down list. However, users will instead be able to type free text into the filter field to find a value. This option has been implemented to prevent large lists appearing in drop-downs on the Filters screen. Here's Adil with a quick demonstration.
So another feature of the dashboard included in the January release is the ability to exclude a data connection object appearing in a list of values. This essentially converts any data object drop list not to return any values. The reason for this feature is due to some objects containing thousands of values which will render slowly. This way, with this feature, it will not return any values, but you can still type in a value to filter it. So to do this, you need to head into the dashboard configuration screen, and then from there you need to go over to the data connections tab, and then choose a data connection of your choice, and then choose an object of your choice. So for this example, we're going to be using department. And now you'll see that you have two options here. One is can use in temporary filters, and the other is can use in temporary filter list of values. Both of these options are checked by default. And if you uncheck the first one, the can you use in temporary filters option, then you will not be able to see this object in the temporary filter screen. The second option is the one that we are talking about today, the list of values. So if you untick this option, and if you save the object, and then if you head into the temporary filter section, and if you select that object, so we need to look for department, you'll see that the drop list does not appear, and it becomes free text. So you can still filter it by typing in a text, but the list of values will not appear.
An additional option, SAML, has been added to the System Variables section under the Settings menu in Dashboard Configuration. This works in the same way as existing OpenID Connect functionality. To enable this, you must ensure that users have an email address specified in their user account and that external login has been enabled. An orphan text element was causing a problem with saving a pie report when a page in the report was removed. This is no longer an issue. In addition to this, chart titles for any charts that are inserted into a report will now be displayed above the chart icon. This is a change to the previous behaviour when the chart title was only visible when users hovered over the chart icon on a report page. When admin-level user accounts are disabled in dashboard configuration, the number of disabled admin users is no longer included in the license usage count. When a chart has both a dimension and a measure, and both objects have new colours applied on the Colours tab in the Edit Chart screen, the chosen colours will be removed when the related dimension or measure is removed. If, however, the data object is changed, any colours applied will be retained. If a chart has been created and the chart type is then changed, any colours that were applied to the original chart will also be retained in the new chart. Here's Adil with a quick demonstration.
So one of the items fixed for the January release is the ability to retain colors on a chart when changing data or chart type. So previously, whilst editing a chart and when you would change the data or chart type, the colors defined would be lost. However, now when you do this, the colors should remain. So as you can see in front of me, I have a simple bar chart which has colors defined on there. So the color I have defined on there is less than 520 to equal green. And as you can see, some of the data here is colored. Now, if I was to change this from a bar chart to a column chart type, you can see that the colors actually do remain. If I was also now to change the dimension from department to, say, first name, you can see that the colors also do remain on the chart.
When the Include Nulls option is ticked in the chart config screen, null values relating to any of the data options will be displayed on the chart. When the Can Using Filters option has been unticked for an object in Data Connections, the object will not appear in the list of options in a filter list and will also not be available in the chart edit screen. When there is a limit on the number of displayed rows in a data connection and the logged in user does not have the Can See Chart Warnings option ticked in their user profile, they will still be able to see the data in a chart. When the Can Allocate Filters box has been unticked for a category in dashboard configuration, the category will not appear in the list when users are creating a filter on the Edit Chart screen. The following video provides an overview of the Learn Pi area on our website. We'll take you through Pi documentation, Pi community, and how to log support tickets. The Learn Pi area of our website provides links to Pi documentation, information about the new API, support desk, Pi community, and Pi Academy. I'll run through each of these in a little bit more detail with you now. Firstly, Pi Academy. This will provide a link into our online training courses, which are split into manageable modules, and also provide a link here through the Register Now section to book onto one of our trainer-led courses. The Pi documentation link will take you to an area where you can get access to our current training guides. At the moment, these include Getting to Know Pi and the modules Pi Reports and Pi Predict. We have a powerful search option at the top of the screen here where you can type any text that you're searching for, and that will open up or display relevant areas of our training documentation. We have a recently updated section here so you can see any new content that's been added, and we've also got the frequently used articles section. We can also drill down into our training guides by clicking on the Getting to Know Pi link and drilling down into one of the relevant sections. Each of these sections also includes a comments area at the bottom, which allows you to post any comments relating to any of the material that we have in our Pi documentation section. You'll also see at the top of the screen here that we've got placeholders for information that's coming soon. We have a number of how-to guides that we'll be posting into this area as soon as they're created, and we also have an FAQ section and information about product releases and any events. The API link will take you to an area where you can see information about the new API. You'll also find more information about this on our Pi documentation area. Pi Community is our new frequently asked questions section. In here you can register for an account and ask a question. You can see some that have been asked here and we can see the answers to those questions. So you'll be able to see content that's been created by other users and also add your own questions. We have various section links down the right hand side which allows us to drill down into questions specifically about the dashboard or configuration. Finally, our support desk link will take you to an area where you can submit a new ticket, and we can also search for help within our documentation as well. By typing in some text in the search box at the top and clicking on one of the links, we can get into a tree structure very similar to the tree structure that I showed in Pi documentation, and this allows you to drill straight back into the Pi documentation area of the website. I hope you've enjoyed a quick overview of these new areas. If you have any suggestions on content that you'd like to see, please get in touch via our support@panintelligence.com email address and let us know.